FaZe, if you give them an opening, they will absolutely press. You will crack.
Oh, Sypical. An open backfield. Can he find the touch? Oh, it's AJ who comes in. Sypical gonna bait out the defender. AJ scores the first goal.
I take a look, see if Sypical even really had a chance at it. He doesn't really see anybody coming. I think he was actually just trying to score that or pop it off the wall one way or the other.
But the defense has stood strong on both sides, keeping it to just one actual successful goal. Drop here to JNaps, looking for the shot to the far side. It goes in. There's the equalizer.
You can feel it coming with this lift from Atomic to Chicago, and it's like, all right, just got to give JNaps a dime, and oh boy, top left corner, pinpoint for him. G2. Wow, I genuinely have no idea how they kept that one out. Once it pinched across the box out to that FaZe guy, I was like, that's it. That's the end. Open. And they're going to score. G2 hold off the storm, and they're going to push back the other way, combine a couple demos with it, and give themselves a very late lead.
The double demolition. Open it up, a team play. And AJ in first killer. Trying to tag team this one back out. 2 seconds. One, it's on the 0. It's got to stay off the ground. It does not give them the bounce. G2 going to take game 1 in style.
Woo! That's a lot to handle. The fact that
you there, no, Sypical tried upfield, but JNaps pre-jumps the save. He's in the air well before anyone can get there. Now first killer. Oh, they cover up AJ. They bump him on the pass, but Sypical's got the rebound into the goal. FaZe scores first again.
I wasn't too sure if AJ mishit this one or if he's just trying. Oh, he got clipped. That explains it. Yeah. Okay, Chicago gave him a love tap. Didn't want AJ to have a perfect shot on target either way.
But Chicago meets him. Now first killer to the sky. AJ in the mid. First was going to hold on to it himself, try to drop his in. Dangerously.
Yeah. Oh, he got denied.
The follow-ups there. AJ will finish it off 2-0 FaZe.
You knew it was going to be too good. Once he got up and around Atomic and JNaps is up the backboard, it's like, he's going to absolutely destroy whoever's going to come and challenge him. It's making it really tough to do what you want with the ball and kind of more at the mercy of what can I actually do right now, not what I want.
Oh, what?
Oh, you're kidding.
Pass? He puts it straight on his Sypical's nose and he's just pointed at the goal.
Like, Atomic, he doesn't make a bad play there. That Sypical just wins that, and first killer puts it right back into him. For the perfect piece of timing, perfectly on transition, are always getting the hit they need. They've had a couple of missed touches, and I kind of found myself thinking, I wonder where G2 is right now, and they kind of get tied up on the goal line, and what can you do here? They both rotate back on the same line, and neither of them has a real good touch on this ball. They were hoping that it would either roll up, and that miss from JNaps kind of hamstrings Atomic as well. Straight into the top of the net. You can probably, okay, that's not bad, but it's not good. Okay, that's definitely bad, and then there's what are you doing?
And there's the blunder.
And G2 is making like the, okay, it's not good, but it's not bad. And that many times over and over stacks up. That advantage builds and builds and builds. And FaZe just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually you just get in this position where you can't do anything about it.
Well, and they're not, I feel like they're not changing.
Back, I'm going to make sure I take out somebody in that midfield line. And it's risky, but you know, sometimes the situation you find yourself in, which is currently 1-0 FaZe and 2 seconds into game 3, necessitates a little extra risk, and that's kind of the crux of the problem. How much risk are you willing to incur to try?
Here, first killer with a trap in Chicago. Back to Atomic.
Okay.
All through 2.
Oh, he got through.
Okay. The one defender stranded here in Chicago manages to put it in and tie up the game.
Yeah, AJ's definitely following this all the way back, and I think he got so focused on Atomic there, he stopped thinking about where Chicago too much, except for that one dunk, and that doesn't mean that he's doing nothing. That dude is out there being a nuisance, and that's just open? Why is this open? I opened the scoreboard for 2 seconds, and I don't see what happens.
I think it was just caught them in the rotation here. AJ's moving back, and Sypical in the midfield's got to make the stop. The other player's out in the corner picking up. And after the crazy game 2, the 4-0 of FaZe dominating the midfield, being creative as they possibly can be on offense, we're following up with a G2 route.
Oh, look at this cut. Flat, bink, instant tip to the right. It's just like...
I believe low in the tank here.
There's
now passing back in FaZe.
Back to first.
Space. Back to first. Killer places it well. They gave him too much room. It's a 1-goal game.
Great transition for FaZe Clan. Gorgeous. AJ realizing he has the extra time. Go collect 100. Dish it out to Sypical, and they got a nice little triangle set up. Back down the other way.
Give him onto the backboard. JNaps has this. He'll take it to the corner. First killer's there, and JNaps beats him again. Two players, they're on top of each other. They should be able to clear this way. Oh, but they get a touch. First killer keeps it up.
Atomic.
And this is to the backfield. First killer should get this off the wall, but can he hold on to it? Typical keeps it alive. The 0-second drill holding on right now, but here comes Chicago to crash the party.
Oh my gosh.
First killer keeps it there. Typical traps against the wall. First killer pops. AJ wants to. JNaps puts it in. There we go. A buzzer beater in the other direction. JNaps says, let's just get out of here. We'll take the win.
This is the unfortunate problem. First killer trying to get that ball to go forward because that's where AJ was headed. Unfortunately, it kind of goes sideways and right out into the middle, and it's kind of the problem with your mind is so focused on making sure it doesn't touch the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes you overcook it just a little bit.
Good Rocket League player, but he made a few touches there that I think it was almost like every touch he made it impossible for his team to score, and the touches he made were not good. But first killer gonna find the air dribble bump, turns into a demo for goal number 1.
To echo Corelli from the last regional, he is just the best.
Very, very good.
From G2, it's not really result. Oh no, never mind. It's the worst
goal
from G2.
Walk me through how this went from bad to worse.
Well, it was great because they were doing such a great job of like, okay, we're not necessarily generating shots on target, but we are keeping pressure. They were playing FaZe Clan, right? That was what FaZe Clan was doing. Oh, hello.
3 players in the middle for G2 and a double commit on the other side, so we probably won't see an immediate counterattack, but both teams getting a little antsy. Chicago to try, slots it out to JNaps, and this one finally connects. 1-goal game.
Yeah, great push here. That double commit actually did really hurt because Typical used all of his boost to go up for that, and he was the one double committing, and so he finds himself out of position, has to rotate.
We're still trying. Chicago to try and dump it. Oh, JJ gets demolished. First goal has to drive through the smoke screen. Difficult read on the other side, and FaZe defense continues to collapse. Equalizer scored. 21 seconds left.
Gotta love those demos again, and JNaps so patient. He's chilling all the way back in midfield. He's like, I don't care.
Back to AJ. Tommy in the corner versus first killer. Chicago to try and crowd it. Chicago, it's there, but again, the demolition and a bump on typical. JNaps slots it, and G2 are on match point.
So awkward here. Typical. He was supposed to be challenging there in that midfield, but he took kind of a weird line and kind of tied up first killer, made him go for it in the corner, and Typical had already committed out to that side, so he kind of found himself in no man's land and never really in a good position defensively, and Chicago able to work his way out of that corner, find a little bump, and the tiny...
Do they match back? Is that the response here for FaZe? Let's get physical. Here's Typical.
Nice.
Places on target.
Wow.
Blast that one to the back. Typical heard us and said, all right, we'll figure this out.
The approach on this ball is actually what's so smart from him. I mean, he jumps at that ball, and Chicago's thinking it's shot to the far post, maybe to the middle as hard as he... That's what? That's almost 7 per game. Yeah. Ask and you shall receive, Wave. You want physicality,
Typical.
you got it. And first killer gonna drop one right in front. Typical gonna make sure it gets home.
We getting Typical in this game. First killer, what a
block.
That's incredible. I mean, part of that is just simple geometry with the challenge, but
Typical has looked much better this game. He's really hasn't had to do too much, but at the same time, again, there he's gonna break up another big play, and that one's just gonna go into the net.
Wow, the long way from his backboard.
Perfect.
Oh, Typical. What a hat trick.
Oh, what a dismount. I wish I hand Typical the ball. That's
no, and
not that's a bad plan, but that's not going to win you every game.
There's only so bad that plan can be. That's always a pretty good plan. Oh dear, they put one in themselves. Poor Chicago makes it 4-0 again.
Here, let's hand Typical the ball and watch what happens.
That's AJ again too.
And Atomic, he just can't quite handle it.
Bonk.
It's off the top corner. He doesn't get the
to actually make work out. And it's the difference is that Typical believes. He's there for the pass. He's ready for AJ to get a flip reset and then win an aerial dunk to put it in as Atomic finds one here in garbage time on the other side. They won't get swept. They won't get beat 4-0 a second time in a row here, but they will lose game 5.
This is quite the shot from Atomic. That's not an easy one to to smash that hard as you rotate the car back. I know it doesn't matter, but I just enjoyed how hard he hit that because that was not easy.
First killer into the sky. Do we get one more highlight for the road? He's reaching for it. JNaps clear it away. And it's typical to AJ. Just trying to return the favor here. Give him a few passes. Save him for the next game. You're going to need him here. 4-1. FaZe takes game 5, surviving.
You can't afford to have a weak third man in Rocket League anymore. Like, you need to have mechanics.
Oh.
That was a good attempt, but nowhere near good enough. Typical's mindset here, I don't even think he was thinking about a challenge. I think he saw that touch from JNaps and was thinking, that's off the wall, and I'm just going to bump him to take that away. That's what that...
Two. He's got to hold on. They've kept the ball away from their goal well enough. Can they finish it off? The long way down. And it's in. JNaps from the side comes across the retreating offense and makes it a 2-goal game.
Big double commit there from FaZe Clan. They're both recovering, leaves the midfield wide open. All it takes is one strong touch from
FaZe. Imagine predicting FaZe.
Stax is a genius. That's all I've found. That's all I've learned. Stax is a genius.
What an incredible man. Don't ever argue against Stax. G2. Walk away with it in 6.
To be fair, though, I think Game 6 certainly could have went to overtime. I really do.